All right, it is 6 o'clock. I will now call to order the January 27th, 2014 meeting of the Easthampton Conservation Commission. This meeting is being recorded. Mark?
Yes.
All right. Public concerns, non-agenda items. Moving on. All right. Tonight we now open the public hearing for a notice of intent filed by Gerald R. and Judith A. LaPointe regarding 8 Old Stagecoach Road. This has been assigned Mass DEP file number. My brain.
151277.
151277. Thank you. And representing the LaPointes tonight is Mark Reed of Heritage.
Yes. Good evening. I have the green cards.
Thank you.
For the board. One green card was not returned, but we did serve them. So I'm sure they'll show up tomorrow. When it happens. So, the LaPointes have a seasonal dwelling on the Connecticut River Oxbow at 8 Old Stagecoach Road, and they are in the process of conveying the property to their daughter, and the existing septic system is probably within 15 feet from the edge of the water in an old metal tanks, and definitely does not meet any of today's Title V requirements. Because we're in a floodplain, a standard septic system cannot be installed, so we have to put in what is known as a tight tank, which is just a 2,000-gallon holding tank with floats and alarms, so that when it does get filled, the alarm goes off and they have someone pump it out. The work within itself as the Old Stagecoach Road runs through the property. It's a right-of-way. It's served by town water, so that the bottom section of the dwelling is there. It's up on piers, so that it's completely open air, and the plumbing would get reworked to come out of this corner of the house, which is the easterly side, extend out 47 feet to a 2,000-gallon tank, which is on the opposite side of the roadway itself, and pretty straightforward. We're proposing erosion control barrier, silt fence, hay bales, to protect this area during construction, being the oxbow down here.
And everything else is level up there, right?
And yeah, once you get up there, it's flat, completely low.
Will they go, you said that it's on piers, so will they continue to go under the
Yeah, they'll go underneath the house. This is all stone, so there's really no, underneath the house is stone, so there's no real concern about erosion in the stone. So they'll go underneath the house a little bit. And there's really very little digging of soils underneath the house itself. It'll come across underneath the floor joists and come around and then drop over in this corner. And the only excavating will be right in this corner and going out to 47 feet to the tight tank. It will have a concrete cap over it for buoyancy, to hold the tank in the ground, and it will be flush to the surface as it exists today. So you just see the concrete pad with 2 manhole covers, cast iron manhole covers that are bolted down on the structure itself.
So several of us, Jay, Dan, myself, and Jessica Allen, met Mark and Mr. LaPointe out there on January 18th. We wanted to beat the snow, and we did.
Yep.
There's not a whole lot to see. There are some site photos in the NOI that was submitted. Aside from the fact that there's no grass growing when we were out there, they're completely representative of what's going on, and we will, well, maybe we recall it from the the town's water line project. So I guess the question I have is, well, two things. One, in the narrative, wherever that is, you reference an alarm, floats with an alarm, and is there, and it's a seasonal cottage, so is there also a presumption that it will be pumped at the end of every season, or only as needed?
Only as needed, and actually you want to leave it full over the winter months to help hold it into the ground for buoyancy. If it's empty, it has more tendency to pop out of the ground. As Mr. LaPointe said, the worst he's seen it was just up almost to his first floor, and which the floodplain in itself is about 12 feet above the ground through that area, which would be over his first floor porch area. So
elevation 123.
Correct. So you do want to leave, liquid in it, effluent in it, to help keep her in the ground.
And then, just a minor detail, you just said hay, but the narrative and the plans reference straw. Okay.
So used to hay bales, straw bales.
Straw bales.
Yes.
And then Mr. LaPointe and or Mark, I can't remember which, I apologize, clarified that the area would be loamed and seeded and restored as it is now.
Right.
And at the site visit, Mr. LaPointe was also there, including you, and you were there as well?
Yes.
So, other questions? This is exempt from riverfront area for the regs, and it's exempt from the rare species, the NISA regulations. That said, we still have to hear from Natural Heritage under the Wetlands Protection Act.
I thought the requirement is we had to file it with them, which we did, which is one of the green cards.
In 30 days.
I don't think they're going to respond because it's an exempt.
But that's not NISA. It's still under 310 CMR 1050, 9?
Okay. All right.
If you're in
habitat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which just kind of dawned on me.
Okay.
Because they're two separate, and they combine the two processes to kind of streamline everything, but they're two different jurisdictions.
Okay.
So just back up for a second. So the project is it from MISA and MSA?
Yes.
And what else? Did you say something else?
Riverfront area.
But it is filed with Natural Heritage, and we have to wait.
Wetlands Protection Act.
Yeah.
Do you right?
Excuse me?
I'm 99.9%
Okay.
sure of that.
It may be. They probably won't respond. They'll let the 30 days elapse, and
I don't think we can. So here's the thing. Technically, I have no further questions, comments, concerns.
Yeah, right.
Administratively, my concern is that even if Natural Heritage has no comments or nothing to add, which I can't imagine they would, I think procedurally we're required to wait until we've heard from Natural Heritage.
That's been precedent.
Yeah. So,
and that's fine because he's not going to do anything.
Right. It's not happening. It's not like they're chomping at the bit. So,
and that's fine.
Does anyone else have any?
No concerns. I mean, the site's pretty flat, except in one area, and they have it controlled.
So, as much as it pains me, with such a neat, tidy little.
Right. I'm just looking at.
I think the actual regulations would be up in like 1005, 1006, in that range.
Because the exemption falls under 1018 through 1023. So it's.
Are you looking at 321 CMR, 1014? 6, I believe, is the MISA exemption.
Right.
But that's kind of separate and of itself. 1014-6.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, that's fine. You could issue it in your next meeting.
Exactly. So I think what we need to do is we need to continue this to our February 10th meeting agenda. Obviously, no additional notifications need to be sent out. And we can deal with it then. February 10th. So it'll just administratively be the first.
Okay. I will not be here on the 10th. I'm not sure.
I can't imagine anything's
Any questions in pop up?
So,
And I know Mondays Mr. LaPointe can't be here either, but
again, that's, if you would just, if you could let him know that we're just proceeding with caution administratively relative to
yes, that's
allowing
fine.
National Heritage 30 days.
Yes.
That'd be
Will that be
great.
30 days by that point, or should we postpone until then?
No, I think we should put it on the agenda for the 10th. That way if they, this was
Trouble
mailed
is-
out.
On the 13th. Well, it was filed on the 13th. So that would be just under 30 days.
Okay.
So it could just be a quick phone call.
Right.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, give me a call and then have
That's the
letter.
Right.
So I'll put that on my
Okay.
list.
If it needs to go until your second meeting in February, it's not a problem either. Next step for us is the Board of Health has to approve it, and then it goes to DEP, the Title V Division of, and they have 30 days in which to approve or make modifications, so.
Is this our copy?
Oh, that's mine.
Oh, that's your copy?
Yep.
The PDF didn't have a stamp on it. Could you
Okay, yeah, no,
send
I can leave this.
No, or just send a copy along at some point?
Oh, okay. It doesn't?
This one, the one I have is.
Oh, the one you do has? Okay, sorry, the one I... because I chose to print the color one.
Here, I probably have one here. Right now.
Microphone size.
Here it is.
It has to go to DEP because it's a tight tank, is that it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks, Mark. Well, I would have had to edit paperwork anyway.
Yes, it has to go to DEP for that reason. DEP won't even review it, let the 30 days elapse, and will approve by default.
That's a time management approach.
Every time we do it, call and say, are you going to get to this?
Nope.
No.
So you can build that, you can really build that into your schedule.
You know,
Go from there.
but they're too busy, and they don't really deal with these things, so they just let them go by default.
Yeah.
But follow the regulations.
Sounds good.
So,
All right, well,
All
I
right.
have a draft agenda right here, so I'm confirming it.
okay. Great. Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Thank you, Mark.
And just you mail it out to me, or
Yep, I'll email you a PDF.
Sure,
We'll mail a
that's
hard
fine.
copy to DEP, we'll send the original to the LaPointes, and
Yep, that's fine.
so if you could just tell them just for,
I just gotta make sure he records it, that's all.
that's in the cover, the translation.
Yeah, right, you got a nice,
But,
Sure. He will, he's very,
it'll go to them by certified mail, just so that we can be sure it's,
that they have it.
that
Sure.
they get it, and that it's not lost somewhere, so that might slow down they just might need to go to the post office if they're not home to receive it.
Right,
That's
right. But they live in Florence, so year round, so not far.
Great.
Okay, thank you very much.
Mark.
Thank you.
live in Florence and then go to their details. It's really local.
It is pretty there. Though.
It is.
Yeah. It's this nice spot, except for the motorboats that he says, race up and down.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of trouble with the wakes. And that's the biggest headache he said he had. With the boat flying by. And they're not supposed to, they're in
Of course, there were no wake zone, but I was enforcing it.
They fly by. So.
Interesting.
All right, good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Growing up in Northampton, I knew people who had cottages in Westhampton on the Pine Island Lake.
So funny.
So, okay.
Yeah, I'm fine. Can't imagine going on vacation.
4 miles away.
Yeah, exactly.
But you know, if it takes you to a different place,
Sure.
why spend hours in the car?
Exactly.
Yeah,
I
no.
do drugs. Wait, what?
This is where we're recording. Just kidding. Okay, so we have no request for certificate of compliance. We have no enforcement orders. Compliance updates. Has any? We do have one update, but as far as I know, everything else is kind of ground to a halt for the winter.
Yeah, is there any update on the Pleasant Street Mills?
Yes.
Okay.
We have received a request for amended order of conditions that we will include on our February 10th meeting agenda. It will follow the continuation of the NOI. And I haven't gone through it, but it's kind of it is what John Goddard, who from Arlebeck, who was here a month and a half, 2 months ago, I don't know, kind of presented in summary. And so this is kind of this is the formal request. The city is the applicant. I'm already raising my eyebrows because there's a to be determined under proposed BBW alteration.
Worked out in the field.
Yeah, right.
So one of Mr. Goddard's questions by email when they submitted this electronically as well, and I confirmed the agenda time and date. And this question was, do we need a representative from Arlebeck there? And the answer is yes.
Yes.
So I will relay that to him.
Okay.
Because TBD requires explanation.
And supposed to award the contract for that this past week or two also?
Probably should have.
They're getting tight on schedule. I don't recall all the details. Jessica is recovering from a stomach bug, which is why she's not here tonight.
Oh.
I know that stomach bug.
You do, you know the stomach bug?
Intimately.
I know every stomach bug there is to know.
At least in the Easthampton region.
Right, that's true.
So again, we're tabling discussion of a shared conservation agent.
I'm sorry, can we go back up? So, what's the status of the Palmer Meadow Trails? Was that even on the agenda?
It's on as an update.
Did you get in touch with him?
No, I only got in touch with him about another conference.
Okay, so we'll leave that on there.
We'll leave it on.
Nothing's happened at the intersection. There were surveyors today out in the field by Jim Gracious side of the road, but that was it.
Okay.
Excellent. Okay, thank you. So that's the Shared Conservation Commission agent standing.
Yeah, we'll just continue that. Another item that Jessica asked that we put on the February 10th agenda is discussion of our next budget, our next fiscal year budget, because those are coming due. I haven't gone out to any sites for the open space. Has anyone else?
Yeah.
You have?
Yeah.
You physically went out, or you didn't just do the...
I did that first.
Oh.
To see, if there was,
So what were your properties?
the one that's off of Plain Street, I went to today, but I mean, there's nothing there at these sites. I mean, everything's nowhere NA.
Okay.
And the people are using the access to this property as their driveway, so they have cars parked in it, so I don't know how that all works out, but...
I guess I know nothing about the layout. Do you have like a
Is this the parcel that's like
sketch it?
landlocked back behind?
It's not really landlocked because if the assessor maps are correct,
Yeah.
That's access to Plain Street.
What numbers are these?
This is the people from 115 have their cars parked in the,
Do they have a separate driveway?
no,
Huh,
that
interesting.
is their driveway. To get to their driveway, to get to the garage or the driveway, whatever's on their property, they have to use that corridor.
But that's not their property?
And technically it belongs to the parcel that's the
That's-
conservation.
Not good.
But is it,
And it's just gravel and broken pavement, it's not really very nice.
It looks like this goes back here.
It does, this is a road that goes back, that goes into farm property here.
Yeah.
And then there's trails off of this into the woods that
So
you can wander around it.
this is the Justina property?
Yes,
Okay, so do you remember when you went out there?
today,
Oh, okay.
You remember well then?
yeah.
Yeah.
I remember it well. So, property at 115?
It's 115 is the people who have the cars parked in it.
So they're using the frontage and the access as their driveway?
Yes. In the summer picture, they're parked up against the house, but in the winter, they park out there because it's less shoveling and less hassle, so. That's what it appears.
was
Can you
it,
put that down?
Yep.
So the adjacent property owners are the 115?
Yes, that's whose cars are
Oh
parked
my
there.
gosh. Dude.
Yeah,
But they have no access to their driveway other than using that.
otherwise.
yeah, I mean, there must be some kind of a,
So I don't think,
Yeah, it has
this
to be
doesn't tell you whether
goes
they
with
could,
that.
they could have a right of way.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm hoping that
They
there's
have to have
something
So that's
that
something.
explains this.
Yeah, the
because-
parcel view doesn't show you what the right of ways are.
Mass land records would probably have something.
Yeah, for one,
If
or,
Jessica shows up sometime.
But no internet.
do you mind if I keep this in the open space file?
Yeah.
So for the,
Okay.
just for the minutes, we're saying that the adjacent property owners at 115 Brook are using the right-of-way or using the access point?
Appear to have access
just say they appear to access their
garage
The driveway.
residence through the position, you know,
through the frontage.
Yeah.
the frontage.
And that, who wants to look it up?
I was trying to, I have no internet.
Yeah, this is it's like a bomb shelter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should kind of do
Let me
it.
step outside.
We can need them to do it right now.
Well, what are we
No,
looking
it
at?
can totally
Oh,
wait.
the,
Just to see what mass land
If
record
there's
says,
a-
if they have any
Yeah.
right of way.
So, I guess that is a shortcoming of this table. Not necessarily a shortcoming, but this table does not include book and page references for deeds, so we can try to look it up that
Yeah,
way. Because the city
take a look
records
tomorrow.
already, that'd be great. I hope that's not a problem.
what did PVPC do to help out during development of the open space plan for
What did
PVPC?
PVPC.
In the past.
Did they make
They
that table, or
did
did they
make
do
this
other
table.
stuff on top of that?
They did one section, I can't recall the details, it's been a while. They wrote like one section of the, one or two sections, they wrote a section, they did the maps, the figures, and I think this was part of the section that they wrote, and I think Jessica provided a lot of file information on it.
Do you think they would have dug up more information on the
Then-
parcels than is right in there, so that
Maybe.
maybe we could just go,
Ask
maybe it's,
Jessica.
yeah, maybe it's a simple question.
I think it's PVPC project managers isn't there anymore.
I'll take my shot online. Stay away from her.
I like the way that sounds.
What,
Okay.
who's the PVPC project manager?
Ann Kappa?
She's not there? What?
Last I knew she was getting married and quitting.
Oh,
Because she could then. Because really, who wouldn't?
But we recorded.
So, moving on. So Jay's going to try to look that up.
Yeah,
If we
I'll
have to
take a
ask
look.
Jess to
Yeah. Well, I just want to
publish.
stay away from Jess for a few days.
Oh, okay.
She was in today.
Well, that doesn't mean anything. Some people are in and
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what you think?
Although, you know what, I have to say, I think she wasn't here because she brought the mail in for us.
Yeah,
Right.
So,
I probably already had it.
Well,
I'm sure, seriously.
Exactly.
No leaving the table.
darn, it's in my plans.
Yes. All right.
Right after everybody else leaves.
Again, the MACC conference is on here. There's another one that I learned about, because they sent this to me. It's the Massachusetts Land Conservation Conference. It's also in Worcester. It's on Saturday, March 22nd. Is anyone interested in looking at their offerings? It's more focused on conservation land, acquisition, management, stewardship. So,
Oh boy, all the things I'd love to do
I know.
when I'm retired. A little early to start thinking about that though.
So, but I did put that item on the next meeting agenda in case anyone wants to talk about it.
You did?
I did.
I just put it on this.
Well, I
We
mean,
can discuss it again.
yeah. And then I guess the next thing is meeting.
Well, does anyone want to send anyone to the MACC annual conference?
Does
I've been.
anyone?
I don't need to go
What's the
again.
date?
I'm not even in
March
the area.
1st.
March 1st.
Saturday, March 1st.
Oh, I'm skiing.
So, Mom, where are you?
Sunapee.
Waterville.
Yeah, my mom really likes Sunapee, so
Hey,
I end up going there every year.
whatever.
I like Waterville, I haven't been there in a while.
So,
I'm not going right then.
they have wonderful medical facilities in Worcester.
Oh, I'm
Yeah, it's-
sure they do.
It's Holy
Yeah.
Cross. What could
I'd
go
like to
wrong?
not
It's a place called
experience
Holy
them as
Cross.
all. I'd like to not experience them as all.
Yeah.
Okay, so, no, Jay.
I don't know. I'll let
Hey,
you
look at what they offer.
Yeah, that's all.
I know you've been before,
Yeah.
so,
Couple times, so
yeah. So if there's nothing,
exciting.
yeah,
Yeah.
then feel, we don't have to go. It's just,
It's just funding in our budget.
yeah, but it doesn't have to be for MACC conference either. So if the other
Exactly.
one at a later date, which really rules Jerry out, seems like it has a better fit in terms of offerings for what we need.
What's going to happen when you have your baby? Are we going to...
Okay, well first.
Right. Thank you for bringing that up. That was good. If we were on camera, I would go with it. But then that only leaves 4 of us. So then the 3 out of 4 of us, while you're in recovery mode, that's going to be a little bit tough.
Well,
We'll see how it plays out, I guess.
I relayed the desire to more actively solicit.
I know.
Is that on the website yet?
It's not.
Oh, it's at the back.
So, 2 things. One, I'll ask Jess again to put it out on the planning department page on Facebook. And I will ask her I will ask Barb LaBombard to update the city's board vacancies through the city's website. And beyond that, I guess if anyone knows of anyone in town looking for an opportunity, I don't know how else.
I don't know anyone.
I don't know anyone who doesn't work for time.
Yeah.
I know
Put a
lots of
sign up
people.
in the bagel shop.
There you go.
That's an active spot.
That
It
is.
is.
Love
Yep.
that bagel spot.
Oh yeah.
You get some people at the Williston.
Seems like there should be somebody that works at Williston, or some teacher or something.
I feel worse if, how many people live in Easthampton?
16,000 odd.
We have more active involved Conservation Commission members than a city of 55,000 who has no quorum right now. So,
Yeah.
hey,
We're good.
we're rocking the per capita here.
Meeting minutes?
Meeting minutes. we all had an opportunity to review the draft. And
Great job.
input. Thank you.
I would like to make a motion to approve my meeting minutes.
Can't do that.
Why not?
We have to call the state ethics commission.
Right.
Conflict of
I can't do
interest.
that, I wasn't here.
Yeah.
Don't second the motion.
Those
then.
minutes.
I'll make a motion that we approve the January 13th meeting minutes.
Is there a second?
I'm afraid to now.
All those in favor?
Aye.
So moved.
I was just kidding. I don't know if you're really kidding.
We're all gonna get fired.
Okay, I don't think there's anything else.
Nope.
So, I have to make it.
All right, we stop
All
here.
right, so may a motion to adjourn. Is
Yes.
there a second?
I
Seconded.
think we all have
Those in
conflict of
favor?
interest on that one.
Aye.
Aye.
So moved.